What's up to everyone? Part of my presence YouTube channel. I want to discuss Kevin Samuels. Now I know everyone's talking about Kevin Samuels. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about him, and I've been asked to review Kevin Samuels and his rise in YouTube fame. But what I've done, I didn't want to give a reaction video when that whole viral video came out as far as that woman being average at best. I didn't want to give a knee-jerk reaction when that occurred. I wanted to take some time and find out what he's about. I knew about him before, but I wanted to just, do some research, do some recognizance, and find out what's really going on with Kevin Samuels and his show and the ideas that he puts across. And the one thing I want to say is this. Kevin Samuels is good at what he does. He comes off as someone who's very knowledgeable, someone who is, steadfast in his beliefs. He seems to be someone who came from a religious background, so he's well versed in religion as well too. And he is someone who is able to, or not afraid rather, to put women in their place and sift through all of the BS and pretty much call women out on the things that he needs to call them out on. Now, here's the one thing about Kevin Samuels and his show and his rise to fame, the recent fame. So here's the fact of the matter. No matter how great everyone thinks Kevin Samuels is and how people need him and we have to protect him and all those different things that people say in the comment section, Kevin Samuels is not the star of the show. Really, the star of the show is women. Because every time women come on his show, either with a grudge, with an attitude, with an air of confidence or overconfidence or arrogance, when they come on his show looking to one-up him and to debate him, and they use nonsensical either comparisons, they use ad hominem attacks against him. However they decide to attack him or to engage with him, they always fail. And it's not because he's good at what he does or that he's quick-witted. It's because these women who come on his show are completely out of touch with their reality. And they're completely unaware how they come across to everybody else. Because the one thing you notice, whenever he highlights and he isolates certain conversations or phone calls with women, he puts them out there in isolation in small clips, it's so apparent to everyone who's watching how poorly these women are coming across. They either can never answer a question directly, they like to filibuster, they like to redirect. Whenever a point is made by Kevin Samuels, instead of having that sink in and let it marinate, what they do is that they sidestep, they pivot, and they keep going in the direction that they always plan on going in. They completely talk over his points. They completely ignore what is being said in the conversation. And the thing that people are starting to realize is that women, whenever they speak with an agenda, and they have a goal in mind, and they have a direction or destination that they're trying to reach, and they're going to reach that destination by any means necessary. And this is when you see a lot of times Kevin Samuels has to pretty much end a call abruptly, right? And then give the what's that music, the trumpet music that he plays, because at that point it's clear to everyone that you cannot have a reasonable conversation with these women. And I'll tell you right now, as much as he does this, and he's been doing it for maybe 8 months now, as far as these isolated clips that he puts out there, it's entertaining. It's hella entertaining. And the one thing about it is that no matter how many times he highlights these women and puts them in, or on display rather, for everyone to see, there's a countless amount of women that are waiting to call. If you look at some of his shows, you'll see in his Zoom app, there's a lot of women in the waiting room, waiting to either discuss their weight, their height, their dress size, looking to get rated between a scale of 1 to 10, looking for advice from him. So even though a lot of women call him toxic and they don't want to support his channel, there's 10 times as much, or even 100 times as much women that actually support him, either because they believe in what he says, or they support him indirectly because they can't wait to debate him and prove him wrong. And so far, no one has come close. And it's not because women are unintelligent. It's not because women are or lack the smarts or the wittiness to take him on. It's because the way how women debate and rationalize certain topics, and the way how women are completely unable to see things from another person's point of view, and that person being a man, they utterly fail in the debate, especially when Kevin Samuels turns the tables on them. Like when one time there was a caller who said that she wouldn't give a timeline on when sex would be on the table, but she would still date these men and get to know them, and then at some point she would decide. And Kevin Samuels threw it back on her. What if I were to tell you, until you decide to put sex on the table, as far as sex being an option, what if you put all of the effort into making reservations for these dates, you paying 100% for these dates, until the point where sex is on the table, and at that point the man will take over and he will pay the rest of the way. When that proposition was given to that woman, you know what she said? She said, hell no. But then she couldn't understand until that moment when it was thrown upon her as to what she would do. It was only then that she realized, oh shit, I fucked up, because here I am advocating for women. Here I am saying that I won't do this, I can't do that, I won't consider this. But you're completely fine with stringing men along, letting men pay, letting men invest their time and resources into you without them knowing whether or not you are sexually attracted to them. And it's only when she looked at it from her perspective, as far as what she would be losing, that she finally understood. And then, of course, she lost that argument. And this is the thing that's so great about his show, is that he has a platform, he creates an environment for women to come on and pretty much reveal themselves to the men and the rest of the women who are watching. And he's pretty much letting women hang themselves with their own ropes. And I don't think people realize that it's not him. It's not him. It's women. Because you could look at Kevin Samuels' older shows where he was talking to men and the men were the focus. He was good. He gave a lot of tips and he had good reasoning. But at the same time, it was not entertaining as it is now. And that's because it really is the woman, the modern woman, the woman who believes in this new feminism, the woman who believes in them being on their own, not having to either compromise or rationalize or even settle with a man or for a man or to follow a man's lead. The woman who is all about putting women first above their men, but at the same time speak down or talk down on the men and say, why aren't you protecting us? Well, here's the thing. A man cannot protect a woman that's not under him, that's not under his care, under his tutelage, under his roof. And this is the thing that Kevin Samuels' show reveals, is how out of touch today's woman is. Now I gotta say, I'm all for it. It's not about Kevin Samuels. You could call him any word you want to call him. You could attack his character. You could bring up his past. But it's not about him. It's about women. And this is what people are starting to see when they watch his show. The women are the stars. That's my take on Kevin Samuels. Let me know how you feel about this. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Pardon my presence. Peace.